All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next Power Hour. It is February, and it is our first Power Hour that we're doing on schedule. So it's the first Saturday of every month, and I'm so glad to have all of you with me. And as usual, for those who are maybe new, maybe this is your first Power Hour. I know some folks have pinged me and said that this is going to be your first Power Hour. Check out the bottom of the screen. Tell me where you are or where you're from and what you're going to be working on today. Would love to hear that. So wait for the comments to kind of roll in here. Karen is back with us here. Karen, thanks for joining, Karen. And I'd love to know what you're going to be working on. Johnny's here. Hey, Johnny, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for coming. All right, Travis Stoll. Good to see you, Travis. And yes, this will be fun. And Karen is joining us from the United Kingdom. All right, awesome. Well, I guess it's a little late over there, isn't it? Thanks for staying up late to hang out with us here. So, all right. Well, before we start, I wanted to let you guys know my YouTube video this week was late. I'm actually uploading it after this Power Hour. My editor and I ran into some weird issues that we never had with my my audio before, and it just took a little bit longer than I wanted. So the next video will be uploaded promptly after today's Writing Power Hour. All right. So Travis, you're working on your author bio. That's a good thing to work on. Cool. Yeah, it's a work in progress. It just takes time to to work on it. You'll get it there eventually. Deborah says hello. Hi, Deborah. Good to have you here. CT Booth editing a first draft, also from Michigan. All right. And Johnny's brand new. All right, brand new to the Power Hour for the UK. Okay, it's 4 p.m. I don't know why I thought it was later. I just woke up like an hour ago. My brain's not working. It's not working, and I should know because I do conference calls with people in the UK like every week. So shame on me. All right, Gussie, Southeastern Idaho. Welcome, welcome. And Steve is writing from frozen North Dakota, where it's -15. Wow. Wow. We got a blizzard going on in Iowa right now, but it's not -15. Not -15. All right. Anna Taylor Swearingen, welcome back. First draft of a novel. Very good. And Adalbertina from Hungary. All right. Want to work on fanfic. Cool. Fanfic is good stuff. So, all right. And Steve is editing for first draft and getting it ready for the editor. All right. And Noor from Somalia. All right. Somalia. Really cool to see folks from Somalia here. Really, really cool. So working on, thanks for the insight. So appreciate it. All right. Okay, so I do see a question from Ex Nemesis. I will do my best to remember to get back to that question, but I think we're going to go ahead and get started, everybody. So let me pull up my timer here real quick. So for those of you who have not done this, what we're going to do is I'm gonna turn on a timer, and we're going to write for 20 minutes. And then at the end of the 20 minutes, we're going to take a 5-minute break, and we'll come back and shoot the breeze. I'll answer any questions you guys have some fun. Maybe I'll do some jokes, interpretive dances. And then we'll go back to writing for 20 minutes again. And usually it goes about 3 rounds of writing. And then I'll do a Q&A at the end. So anyone who has any questions on self-publishing or writing, whatever that may be, just let me know. All right. So, folks, it is 10:04 a.m. We're going to come back at 10:24. Timer starts now. I'm going to go on mute, and good luck. Happy writing. All right, everybody, we have 2 minutes left, just a little bit under 2 minutes. So 10:24, we'll come back and hit our first break. All right, everybody. My clock says 10:24. Hope everybody had a good writing session. Let me know. I got a banner down on the screen, but if for those of you who are new, let me know what your word count was for the session. So if you wrote 100 words, let me know you wrote 100 words, and also let me know how you're feeling. I forgot to put that in the banner, but I believe that how you feel and your mood is also a very important part of productivity, because I believe that when you feel better, you write better. So let me know, and I'm going to start tackling some of the comments that came in during our writing session. Ex Nemesis asks a question about paperback printing on Amazon. Do they print paperbacks as they're ordered, or do we order a certain amount of copies in advance? Yeah, Ex Nemesis, they print the paperbacks as they're ordered. It's called print on demand publishing. That's one of the great things about it, is that you don't have to pay anything up front. So you are on, basically the reader pays when the book is ordered, and then you receive the royalty. So there's no upfront investments, which is great. All right, Dave. Loving my dragon in Boise, Idaho. I'm assuming that's dragon dictation, but if not, please do tell. And let's see. Oh, Celinda joined us. Welcome, Celinda, for fourth book. All right, only halfway done. That's awesome. Nor asks, do you offer writer support such as coaching? Unfortunately, Nor, I do not. I just don't have the time to offer coaching at this point, and it's not really a core part of my strategy. But that's why I create these videos, and why I have lots of books and lots of podcasts. So if you can't find out what you're looking for, you can always contact me, and I can answer any questions that you might have. All right. Let's see here. Oh, Okesh is with us. Hello, Okesh. Been putting food shopping away and making a cup of tea. All right. Can't have a writing power hour without tea. All right. And Diana says, good morning, all. Good morning, Diana. Catch up with Jesus. Good morning. All right. So, okay, Paulo's here. Welcome, Paulo. Thanks for joining us. And Travis asks, do you ever have the problem of not knowing when to stop, or not knowing when to stop when writing your manuscript? Travis, elaborate a little bit more. Do you mean like not knowing to stop, like when you're doing a writing session, or not knowing when to stop, like with the story? Tell me more. So I want to make sure that my answer's on point here. All right. Okay. So now I've got word counts coming in. The Mature Man, 722 words. Deborah, 724. Mature Man says, you convinced me to get off the sofa and write. Well, that's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. Are you serious? 203. Anna, 357, feeling energized. That is great. Gussie, 632, and thankful for the writing power hour. Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad that motivated you to write a scene. That's what this is all about, right? And then everybody else, there's so many comments. I wish I could get to them all. HR Wash got 303 words. Very, very good. And CT Booth is revising. And all right. Travis says you got 154 words for your bio. Okay. Yeah. Writing about yourself is not easy. That is absolutely true. Steve says, do you have a critique group or partner you work with? And the answer is no. I'm a lone wolf working alone. The reason I don't work with partner Steve is because it slows down the process for me. But I highly recommend it for anyone who's looking for that. It especially when you're starting, it can be a really good way to get started and make some friends along the way. All right, Deborah says, feeling good, little struggle, too many ideas for this particular scene. It can go so many ways. Yep, totally true. All right. Wow, so many comments, guys. This is great. So let's see. Oh, so Linda says, I let my stories dictate how long they need to be. So that's probably in response to Travis's question here. All right, Amelia. Welcome, Amelia. Good to see you. Working on editing my first 50,000 word novel. First draft pretty much done. Very, very good. Very good. I know we've talked about that. So good stuff. Okay, Sups. All right. I finished writing a long novel and I'm editing it now, but it's hauntingly long and I spend way too long on each chapter. I feel like I will spend months editing. Do you have any tips? Yeah, I do. In fact, watch the YouTube channel next week, Sups. I have a new series that's coming out. I think it's going to be 2 to 3 videos, and it's all about editing. So when you're starting your editing, and then I basically walk through the entire process of things that you need to think about. So that series may be helpful to you. And I'm also thinking about writing a book on this. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But also, I think in terms of specific tips for your situation, I would say editing, just be careful with it because it's easy to spend a lot of time editing. So if I were you, this is just my opinion. If it's your first book, it's harder to do. But setting a number of drafts that you're going to do. So like if you're going to be revising, cut yourself off after 3 drafts. Like promise yourself that it's going to go to an editor. Also setting a timeline is also pretty important. And then once the timeline comes, cut yourself off and just get it to the editor. Especially if it's one of your first books, it's better to just get it out there and then take your lumps, take your feedback as it comes. All right. Okay. So everybody, it's 10:30. So why don't we jump on to our next session? I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes. We'll come back at 10:50. I'll answer the remaining questions because there were a bunch that popped in. We'll come back at 10:50 and good luck, everybody. Happy writing. All right, everybody, we got 2 minutes. We're going to come back at 10:50 a.m. 2-minute warning. Okay, everybody, I've got 10:50 on my clock. Let me know, how did you do? How did you do, and how do you feel? All right. So, Tiev, welcome, Tiev. Came back from a breakfast trip with the family, so just got ready for some brainstorming, cutting up 4 pages worth of notebook paper into 16 pieces of paper. Interesting. Really cool. Bad Finger asked, writing the first draft is easy and fun. Any tips on second draft editing? I hit on this in our last break, or just before our last break, I think. I'm going to be talking more about this on the channel next week, and then the next two to 3 weeks after that. I'm doing a new series. It's called, I think I'm going to call it like the Ultimate Guide to Self-Editing Your Book or something like that. Haven't decided yet. My editor's working on the video as we speak. Yeah, I'm going to talk more about self-editing. There's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack. As far as second draft editing, I kind of mentioned setting a timeline and cutting yourself off, because you can get trapped in self-editing land. And that's not an amusement park you want to go to. So that's probably the tip I would give you today, but stay tuned on the channel. And I'm also going to be doing another live stream sometime this month. I don't know when yet, but I'm working on a new project. For those of you who may not know, I do blog posts every day on authorlevelup.com /blog, and also on my YouTube community tab. And I've been talking about an editing project that I've been working on to help me automate some of my editing. And I think that can also be something that can help you as well. So like I said, stay tuned, more to come. Okay, Sups. Oh, you're asking about the prior video, or the video I was talking about. That'll be next Friday at noon on the channel. Okay. Okay. Karen says, likewise, sometimes I find myself being taken where I never expected to go. Characters do the same, kind of develop on their own. Absolutely true. Mature Man asks, when you edit, make sure to keep a copy of the original. Yes, absolutely. Very, very good point. And apps like Scrivener will help you do that. All right, Louisa. Hello, Louisa. Working on your fantasy novel. Thank you for the Power Hour. Helps me a lot to stay motivated. Well, thanks for watching my videos and commenting, and thanks for being here. All right. Ex-Nemesis says, I'm finding that the climaxing part of the novel is very hard to write because I want every word to be perfect. I finally arrived at the scenes I daydreamed about, and therein lies the problem. Ex-Nemesis, be very careful with that. Just write the story. It's never going to be how you see it in your head, but it doesn't have to be how you see it in your head for readers to enjoy it. Okay. So, all right. Shadow 1SD. Hi, Michael. How are you? I am fantastic. I hope you are doing great as well. All right. Diana says 1,100 words in. Very, very good. Nice work. All right. CT Booth says, interesting comment. My novel is a high concept plot with many characters, but they're lacking a unifying goal. Not sure how to tie it all together. My question, CT, are you outlining or um, are you kind of riding on the seat of your pants? Because to me, some of that stuff works itself out once you finish the story and kind of go back. You can start to see things in retrospect that you didn't see when you were writing. So maybe the answer is you just need to keep writing, and some of those unifying goals will reveal themselves. All right. All right. Okay. So we got some word counts coming in. Johnny, 614. Great session today so far. Fantastic. Deborah, 498. Mature Man, 1584 words total. Very, very nice. Louisa, 513. Impressed with yourself. You should be. That's a fantastic number. Amelia edited about 1,000 words. Nice job. Keep going. And everybody else is doing fantastic. I can't put all the numbers on the screen here. Sups asked for the title of my next book, which I'm thinking about writing. Can you name it How to Not Give Up on Your Book When Editing is Destroying Your Dreams? Oh, I know it's bad. I didn't know it was that bad. So we need to have a talk. It should not destroy your dreams. Maybe it can destroy an afternoon, but it should not destroy your dreams. Hey, Dale. Dale's in the house. Self-Publishing with Dale, my brother channel. All right. So please go check out Dale. If you have not checked out Dale, he has a fantastic YouTube channel, and he's doing some great videos lately. All right. So welcome, Dale. And all right, everybody. Oh, and Adalbertina says, my characters are trying to make a mayonnaise sandwich. With more or less luck, I'm trying to get the feel of them this session instead of plotting big things. All right. I think your comment wins the power hour for funniest comment. Making a mayonnaise sandwich. I love it. All right, everybody. Well, we're coming into the final session here. So it's 10:55. Let's go ahead and get into our final session, and then I'll stay on and answer questions that you have. So 10:55, let's come back at 10:15. Yep, I believe that's 20 minutes. 10:15, and then we'll start wrapping her up. So happy writing, everybody. And I meant 11:15. I just can't count today. 11:15 Central Time, and I'll stop talking now. All right, everybody, 2-minute warning. It is 11:13 Central Time. In 2 minutes, we're going to come back and debrief. All right, everybody, I've got 11:15 my time. So let me know. How'd you do? And I want to know um, your final session word count slash your total word count for the power hour. All right, let everybody know. So usually we've all done a really, really good job, and it's really good stuff. So while you're doing that, I'm going to answer some more questions. So Akbar Khan asks, how can I become a good writer with reading lots of books or something else? Yeah, Akbar, reading writing books is not everything. I think early in your career, it makes a lot of sense to do because it gives you an understanding of what the world is. But at the end of the day, the best way to become a writer is to sit down and write. And then if you want to continue taking that to the next level, study writers that you admire, read a book that you like. And then when you're done reading it, read it for enjoyment first. But when you're done reading it, then what I recommend is picking one or two sections that just made you go, wow, that was amazing. How did the author do that? And then figure out how the author did that. And then when you're writing your next book, you can do that, but with your own words and in your own style. And that's how you start to develop an author voice. And that's how you start to keep readers engaged. So that's what I would recommend. And I've got lots of writing books on that. So, I mean, you can check out any of my books and they'll help you get started. All right, Okesh. Michael, what's your opinion about selling short stories on Amazon, either singularly or in a collection? Yeah, Okesh, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a bit more challenging to make money with single short stories, but it can be done. I just wouldn't have any crazy expectations for them. I absolutely 100% recommend that you publish them if that's what you're thinking about. If you're not going to go the magazine route, um, but yeah, just lower your expectations. And if you have a collection, you might be able to see some results with Amazon ads, assuming you've got a good cover and also assuming there are other collections out there that are kind of like yours. So I've seen some success with that. I mean, I'm the king of small numbers. I'm seeing, maybe 2 or 3 sales of my short story collection each month, but it was more than what I was seeing before. So I've actually sold more this month of my short story collection than I probably sold all of first 4 years of my publishing career. So it can be done. Just know it's not necessarily a crazy lucrative thing. All right. Hawkins asks, what's your best tip on how to make readers like and care about a character? Hawkins, I've got a playlist. You can find it at authorlevelup.com/engaging characters. I have an entire playlist on this. I think it's like an hour long on how to create memorable characters. So authorlevelup.com/engaging characters. And hopefully that will answer some of your questions. Okay. Akbar says, sometimes I can write quotes, but have no idea on which side I need to write. Yeah, Akbar, there's lots of resources to help you with that. Check out a book. I think it's called The Elements of Style by Strunk and White. That might help get you started on the best way to structure, best way to actually write the words down on the page. And yeah, I would start there, and then also maybe some like grammar labs could also help you with that too. All right. Okay. I lost my place here. So give me 1 second. All right. Okay. Question. Okay. Yeah. I love when you guys do that. When you type question in all caps, it makes it easier for me to see. So maybe I'll steal that and make people remember that next time. Would a short story have chapters? And if not, how would you lay out your thoughts in Scrivener? Um, yeah, short stories can have chapters. I mean, it doesn't look. It's not going to look like what it looks like in a novel, right? So typically, what people do with short stories is you break everything off with section breaks. So just hit enter, three asterisks, hit enter again, and then you have a section break, which represents a passing of time. That's how you can do it. There are some other, non-traditional, unique ways to do it. There's no right or wrong way to do anything with a short story, but that's typically how people will do it. Okay, Sups has a couple questions. What would you recommend to a person who doesn't have a presence or is not strong on social media to guarantee that the book will not be published and no one will know it's out there? Sups is probably not the answer you're going to want to hear, but sometimes that's what happens. When you publish your first book, or when you publish a book in general. Sometimes books are either ahead of their time, or sometimes there's something with the marketing that maybe you could have done better, and it's a learning opportunity. So if you want to try to mitigate that possibility, what I would recommend is before you start writing your book, try to figure out where it could potentially fit. Now, that doesn't mean that you write your book to market if that's not your thing, but just understand, okay, I'm writing something that's probably going to be lit RPG, or I'm writing something that's probably going to be space opera. And then if you can figure out what the subgenre is, that'll help you too, because one, that's going to help you figure out what needs to be on the cover. That's going to help you figure out what needs to be in the book description. And then that's going to help you figure out what you need to do from an advertising perspective, to advertise the book. Social media, there's some people that have success on it. I personally don't. I mean, I guess I have some success because I have a YouTube channel that's got 30,000 people or whatever. But I don't really consider YouTube is social media, but I don't really consider it social media in that sense. But like Facebook and Instagram, you can actually do yourself more damage in the beginning of your career on there than not. So just don't go on and spam your book on people. So I would just start at the beginning with the basics and the fundamentals. All right. Travis says, it might be fun to ask us to share our favorite sentence. Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that. So if everybody wants to share that, if you can find it, Travis says, mine, she learns so that she could teach. Cool. All right. So we got some numbers coming in here. Deborah, 1767, and this session 527. Very nice job. All right. Mature Man, editing 660. Okay. HR Wash, 391, 1,000 total for the hour. Very, very nice. Diana, 300/1400. Very, very cool. Are You Serious? 400/1,000. So we're saying around about 1,000. That's good stuff. All right. 701 for the session, 1934 for the day. That is good stuff. 1934 is my number too, Johnny. So we're twins on the writing session numbers today. And Anna, 443/1261. Very nice job. And I noticed that you said you were feeling energized throughout the whole thing, and that's what this is all about. All right. So Louisa, 512 words this time with 1,000. That is very good. Very good. And Steve asks, speaking of good books, what would you say is my best fantasy book? Well, that is a good question. I would say I don't make any judgments on what's best or better, just because I think that's for readers to decide. And the book that readers are buying the most from my fantasy right now is my Last Dragonlord series. So you can check that out at michaellaron.com/The Last Dragonlord. And the first book in that series is called Old Dark. And it's about a bloodthirsty dragon lord who is seeking revenge against a conspiracy that overthrew him. So if you like dragons and anti-heroes, then that is your book, my friend. So, all right. Okay. Well, hey, my kill friend, you can come next time. No worries. No worries at all. All right. So let's see what everybody else had. Amelia wrote 300 words, total 1,300, feeling very good. And feeling that your story is changing ever so slightly during editing. And is that okay? Yeah, it's perfectly fine, Amelia. The story is going to continue to change when you write the first draft, or when you write the story. You'll find you'll start picking up on plot holes and little errors that you made in the beginning of the story that you didn't find until you get further in editing. So perfectly normal for it to feel like things are changing. Hopefully it feels like they're changing in the right direction, and things are starting to come together. So the feeling is perfectly natural. All right. Johnny says, I'm a few months away from publishing my first novel. Do you think a website is vital if I'm going to self-publish? Johnny, the answer is an emphatic yes. Even if your website even if it's got like a splash page, with a link of where to buy your book, I think that's good. Also, maybe getting a mailing list started. You might only get 1 or 2 people, on your mailing list when you first start. I mean, I think when I first started in 2013, I put a link to like a MailChimp mailing list on my website, and I maybe got like 4 people, and those 4 people, some of them may or may not have been family members. I'm not going to admit or deny that, but it's okay. It's just about starting it and making sure that it's available. And also it helps you get the kinks worked out too. So you can make a lot of mistakes on your website when you first start that people will never see. And so then when you start publishing and getting things going, it's a lot easier. And you'll have some of that expertise under your belt, as opposed to starting to cobble a website together at the last minute. All right. So I highly, highly recommend websites. Okay, Celinda says 500 and 1.5 thousand for the hour. And thanks for the push. Well, you are welcome. Adalbertina says 614 for the day, 1460 overall. Okay, here's her sentence. They managed to make some sandwiches, but they accidentally summoned some demons to the kitchen. Now they're helping clean up. Now the question is, Adalbertina, what did these demons do? I mean, did they make a mess, or did they help them make the sandwiches faster? That is my question. All right. Okay. So Linda, what do you consider a short story? I guess in terms of length, I think that's what you're asking. Anything under 10,000 words. And that's Michael Laron's opinion. Don't take that to the bank. I think everybody has differing opinions on what it is. I think anything under like 25, anything under like 2,000 is probably considered flash fiction territory. Anything over 10,000, you're kind of getting into novella territory. Most short stories, I think, that you would see in like a literary magazine are going to be between, 3,500 and like 8. So that's just my opinion. There's no definitive answer on that. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Black Hat. I'm here for the first time, and I think writing power is an amazing concept. Thank you. Do you do this kind of stream regularly? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Yes, I do. I'm actually starting this, doing this the first Saturday of the month. So the next one will be on March 6th. It just happens to be on the 6th, usually not the same day, but Saturday, March 6th will be the next Power Hour at 10 a.m. Central Time. So hopefully you can join us there. All right. Okay, Keto Cutie. Last night I had a thought at 3 a.m. and couldn't help but get up to add it to my book. Do you have official writing hours? For example, do you allow yourself to write between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m.? Yeah, Keto Cutie. We talked about this in the last Power Hour. I don't know if you were here or not, but there's a Hindu, like a Hindu spiritual leader. His name is Sadhguru, and he says that if you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it means that you are in sync with the universe. So that's a very good thing. Now, to answer your question, because it has nothing to do with your question, I don't have official writing hours. I write whenever I can, because the nature of my life right now is that it's kind of crazy. So like I have a family, I have a full-time job, I'm raising a daughter, I'm in law school classes, and so I write whenever I can get it done. So I actually don't have any writing hours. I write 7 hours or 7 days a week, anytime I possibly can. If I'm in front of my desk, I'll write on my desk. If I'm in the backseat of an Uber car. I'll write on my phone. Everything syncs up together. So I try to flex my writing style based on what I'm doing, and maybe that's helpful. So no matter where I am or what I'm doing, if I want to write and if I have the ability to do it, I can do it. And I think that's kind of been one of the secrets to my productivity. All right, let's see. Okay, Sups, your second question. Everyone mentions Scrivener. What happens if I finish my novel on Microsoft Word? Is it too late to transfer everything into Scrivener? Oh, no, it's not at all. In fact, Scrivener makes this very easy for you to transfer everything. I have a video. Type in, like on YouTube, type in Rewrite London plus Michael Laron. And I've actually got some Scrivener tutorials that I actually sat down with a class of people, and I basically went through Scrivener, and how to import work into Scrivener was one of the things we talked about. And I actually cover that. It's like in the very beginning of one of the videos too. There's two of them, but I forget which one I did it in. But you can find them, and it's like at the very beginning. And I actually show you step by step how to import work into Scrivener. And with Microsoft Word files, it's you snap your fingers and it's done. So it's never too late to use Scrivener. Never too late. Now, getting stuff out of Scrivener, different story. I'm not a fan of the compile, but yeah, we'll stop there. Okay, TF says, perhaps you could start a YouTube channel or blog. Talk about something related to your book, maybe narrate or post a sample chapter or a section of your book every week to entice people as some feedback to Sups. Yeah, absolutely. The hard thing about that is it's a weird balance of making it all about you versus also making it about them. And there's only so much you can do with reading your own stuff. So if there's other things you can tap into, that your readers would like, that's kind of cool too. So just kind of remember that. Okay, so let's see here. I love the comments and questions, so I'll stay on until I answer all your questions, everybody. Okay. Yeah, Steve, you make a very good point. I love Scrivener. There's a big learning curve, but it does help with the organization and other writerly bells and whistles. Yes, the learning curve on Scrivener is real. That's why I did a video on my channel called Learn Scrivener in 20 minutes to try to help people over that, because once you get over it, you can probably attest to this, Steve. Once you get over the hump, it's awesome. But getting over that hump is the hard part. Okay. Oh, Travis, thank you as a compliment. Thank you very much for the kind words. I appreciate that. And QT Rot asks, how do you find ideas for creating new stories? Do you have a process for doing this? I do, actually. One of the things that I do is I use Evernote, and I write down ideas anytime I have something. So like Keto Cutie mentioned, when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll write that idea down in Evernote. And if I'm at a coffee shop and it's this really cool hipster coffee shop I've never been to before, and it's got a really cool vibe, I always ask myself, if I wanted to write this into a story, how would I do it? And what I'll do is I'll write down what I see, what I smell, what I taste, what I hear, and what I can touch and what textures are. So the 5 senses. And so I basically translate that coffee shop into the 5 senses, and I put that in my notebook. And so if I ever get to a point where I have writer's block and I'm like, I need my character to go somewhere, where can they go? Oh, I'll pull out the coffee shop note, and then I can basically take the sensory details and transmit them directly into the book. It's kind of like a shortcut. That's one way to do it. Another way is reading regularly. It's one of my bigger challenges as a writer. Like when I became a writer, it was really hard to keep reading because I wanted to keep writing the next book. But I found over the years that the more I read, the easier it is for ideas to come. It just, there's something about writing and then capturing your ideas down that basically ensures that you never deal with writer's block. Like I've written 3 books over the last 3 weeks. So I finished a novel, and then like the next day I jumped into the next book, and then I finished that book. And then today I started on a new one. So it's like, you don't have the problem, but that's because like you have a constant stream of ideas coming in. So try that. You won't see the benefits right away, but you'll see them over time. Let's see here. Oh, let's see. Okay, Anna has a great line. Men are great teachers if you don't listen to them speak. I won't comment on that. Tiev here. In Scrivener, is there an option to have the binder in the middle of the screen, or maybe some other way of looking at the folders and sections beside a list on the left? I'm not 100% sure I can visualize what you're asking, Tiev, but there's lots of ways you can organize Scrivener. That's kind of the nice part about it. Steve says that hurts. Yeah, I think all the dudes on the podcast felt that one, Anna. So that's the mark of some good writing right there. All right. X Nemesis says the reason I write is because I already have the ideas. It's either exercising demons or living out fantasies for me. Yeah, in the universes we create, we are gods, just like we are Sparta. All right, or this is Sparta. Okay. Adalbertina has a very pressing answer to the question. The demons were summoned accidentally. They were just standing there, then asked for what they were summoned. Nothing. So they decided to clean up the kitchen. I'm speechless. I can think of a lot of things a demon would do when they showed up randomly, like possess people or, destroy the world. And it's bored. They got nothing else to do. Just clean up the kitchen. If I ever have to summon any, those are the ones I'm summoning. All right. Yes. Okay. Favorite sentence from Okesh. Okay. For some god-awful reason, he never left his apartment without wearing his faded and patched Rolling Stones jacket. Cool. Very cool. Okay. X-Wing class, another question. Do you offer mentoring or individual services or helping others with writing per se? X-Wing, I do not. Unfortunately, just because things are kind of crazy for me and I'm just ridiculously busy. I wouldn't be able to give people the attention they deserve, which is one of the reasons I try to do these YouTube videos to try to help as many of you as possible with just a couple of different videos here. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Recycle says I could do some of those demons. Not a sentence I thought I'd ever say. Amen. I think we can all agree on that. Okay, so it looks like I got through everybody's questions here. Couple of things. First thing, I felt it sounds like editing is something that has been coming up quite a bit throughout the Power Hour today. So over the next 2 to 3 weeks, you guys are going to see more editing videos from me. I'm going to be talking about the process of editing and some of the processes that I've used to help me get through editing. Because writing your book is cool, but editing is kind of like another continent. And if you think about it like a continent, it's like how do you get from one side of that continent to the other side of that continent? And so I've had this plan for a couple weeks now, but I'm gonna be doing some videos on that. So stay tuned. Also, after this Power Hour, I'm going to be uploading this week's YouTube video. So we had some technical issues. I'm gonna go ahead and upload that. So it's out there, so I don't miss a week. And then the next Power Hour is going to be on March 6th, 2021. That's Saturday at 10 a.m., first Saturday of the month. All right. So the next thing, the last thing I wanted to talk about is I'm going to be doing a live stream at some point later this month, and I'm going to be talking about a project that I'm working on to automate some of my editing. So if that is interesting to any of you, I found out a way to use technology to basically help me catch a lot of errors that my editor has caught in the past. And it's super cool. Like I cannot wait to show this to you guys. It's almost done. I've got a developer that I'm working with. We're working on some stuff. And so I hope that this will help you guys be a little bit more efficient and save you some time in the editing process as well. All right. So with that, have a wonderful Saturday. I hope that all of you are staying healthy, staying happy, and hope you continue the writing session throughout the day today. And peace. Talk to you next month.